1, 2, 1, 2. Check your levels, guys. Check your levels. You got to check them levels. The oil level, the water level, the petrol level, the little devil, the sea level. How's that doing over there for you? Is that working for you, Gus? How's that going? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Looking at me with a cup of tea. One, two, three. Cup of tea. 4, 5, 6. In the mix. 7, 8, 9. Walk that line. Is that alright, guys? Is that good? Yeah. 6 in the mix. Is that good, Gus? Yeah. Check. Check. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, almost. Yeah. Drop it. Drop it like a bomb. Drop it like a bomb. Who's rang? Oh, that was Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg. Drop it like a bomb. Drop it like a bomb. Yeah, right there. Right there. Well, I don't know. It depends. Normally I talk like this. Well, when I get excited, it depends. If Enzo doesn't take his clothes off, I should be all right. Yeah, okay. I'll try and do my best. Otherwise, if you want me to turn it down on my speaker, I can turn it down on my speaker. You want me to do that, Gus? Yeah, okay. Yeah, just give it a couple. Yeah, try not to, Gus. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and good night, ladies and gentlemen. Harry Met Sally is in the house, and look at him. He's got a shaven haven face. Completely shaven. It's taken years off him. Just got to pull up your trousers, mate. tell me when, Gus. I'm ready. 1-2. How's that? Tell me when. Good morning. 1-2. Good morning, everyone. And, of course, a very good morning to all of you watching on ChukkerTV, on the world, of course, and here in Wellington. My name is Eric Frank, and I'm coming to you from a lovely field number 1 at Grand Champions on this Wednesday morning. We've got a very, very day ahead of us today. We have 2 matches who are going to determine who's going to play for the US Trust Cup, which, of course, is the subsidiary final of the Triple Crown, the last of the WPL series in this year. We've got already out on the players. We have, of course, Amanda Arena coming out onto the with today. Gus Bush, beg your pardon, Alfredo Bigatti, Alejandro Navijo Estrada, Pablo Spinacci, and they're up against Alegria, of course, the Canadian Fred Mannix, with Jesse Bray, and then coming in for Gringo Columbus, Santi Wolf, and of course, Juan Martin Obregon. Alegria, having, of course, played 3 games, 1-1 and lost to Mandarina, looking for their first win. So today, and this game could be very, very important. If they win here today, they will be through to the final, which, of course, takes place on Saturday. Tomorrow, just to make a note in your diary, of course, tomorrow the big 2 major semi-finals for the final of the Triple Crown, which, of course, will be played here at Grand Champions Field number 2. That's the field just behind, of course, Sunday, this coming Sunday, April 14th at 4 p.m. Gates open at 2:30. So if you're in the area, please do come and join us. Should be a cracking game. Now, as I'm more or less ready, so I'm going to take my seat and let you enjoy this first of our 2 semi-finals here this morning, and we'll get the match off underway just shortly. Of course, our umpires this morning, we have 2 mounted umpires as always, and in the saddle we have Daniel Baudou and Martin Aguirre. Negro Ferrari, the 3rd man, and I think the umpires now calling the players to line up to get the first ball of our 6 chukkers of this US Trust Cup semi-final underway. So best of luck, gentlemen, of course. And coming in today to play for Melissa Ganzi, we have the young talented Gus Bush playing off 1 goal. So they line up in the centre. And as I say, Alegria, of course, having already won a subsidiary final, looking for their second, well, at least entry into said semi-final, and balls thrown into play. And very, very quickly here, that man with the number 2. And Alegria, of course, as I say, looking for their win here today to secure themselves a position in Saturday's final. Well, straight away, as you can see here, not wasting any time, and that could be the first shot on goal, and I think it is. No mistake. Goal number 1, very, very quickly, as you can see there. Mandarina not wasting any time. That was a player with the number 2, Alfredo Bigatti, getting his first score up on the score sheet in this semi-final. Let's have a look at how he's been scoring so far. Well, he had a very good run in the first game, scoring 7 goals. Had a little bit of a lull in game 2, and then in the 3rd game, when they lost to a Grand Champions Polo Club, Bigatti there scoring, beg your pardon, the 4 goals. He didn't score any in the first 2. Here we go, ball's back here, play a little under the net coming there from the very talented Jesse Bray, looking and nearly finding Santi Wolf, who is going to try and send it up to the front door. He's done well. He's found Mannix. And near side backhand, this time from Spinacci. Just gets the ball out of the danger zone. And an infringement there. The first whistle of the game. I think the culprit here being Jesse Bray. Crossing that right of way, of course. And that is a no-no. So the umpire, no choice but to blow the whistle on that one. And a penalty 5B is the consequence of that foul. And just a couple of words there from Juan Martin Obregon to Jesse Bray, just explaining exactly what had happened and how it happened. So as I say, hit from the centre, and it'll be taken by the 8-goaler, that is Alejandro Navijo Estrada. Spoke to Alejandro, of course. since we've all been here for the WPL. He's having a fantastic time, working very well alongside his two partners in crime, Alfredo Bigatti and Pablo Spinacci. And this time it's Mannix who will just stop Mandarina in their tracks. Bray tried to run away with it, didn't quite make the connection. A good little touch there on the near side from Mannix. Navijo Estrada just manages to keep the ball in play. It'll be picked up by Bigatti. Bigatti sends it back to Alejandro Navijo Estrada, and he's just coasting through that Alegria defence. Hit that one slightly out to the left-hand side. It's going to be a little bit difficult there for Gus Bush to get to that one. That one just will run over the back line. So Alegria still looking to get their rhythm going. And of course, based on the difference in handicap, 3-goal advantage given from the beginning. Of course, Mandarina, having normally played off 22, today playing off 23. And that ball also just toppling over the sideboards. Play is called. Oh, a solid hit from the spot there, but only as far as Gus Bush, who conveniently stood in the way of that rocket that came down from Alegria. And now a chance here with another shot to goal. Nicely taken under the net from Bigatti. Just going wide. Really not much in it. Here we go, ball's back in play. Good little run here from Mannix. He might just have to run this one himself. He's got no one to play it to. He's got a man on. Spinacci will try and shut him down. And they've opened it up nicely, coming through the centre, little near side. And that's a beautiful take and strike. I think that was Jesse Bray, if I'm not mistaken. No, it wasn't Jesse Bray, but nevertheless, it was a beautiful strike. I'll tell you who that was in just a few moments. But a great run there. It all started, of course, from that great work by Fred Mannix. And I believe that was Mr. Obregon. It was a player with the number 3. That was Santi Wolf, ladies and gentlemen. Santi Wolf getting his first score of this game. Solid backhand again from the man who just scored a few moments ago, Santi Wolf, but this time only as far as Bush. He'll send it back towards the halfway line. Feeds the ball to Alejandro Navijo Estrada, but already established on the line, it would appear, was that man with the number 3, the man who just scored a few moments ago, Santi Wolf. So I'm just guessing here that the umpires are going to award a penalty for a 60-yard penalty. Let's wait and see if that really is the case. I think it is. So 2:54, a little less than 3 minutes to play in this opening chukker. And so far, Alfredo Bigatti and Santi Wolf having both got their names up on the score sheet. And as I say, a penalty for is the consequence of that. Oh, players being called. And as it would appear, he's on such a good run, they're probably going to give him, well, they are, they're going to allow him to take this shot. Oh, no, this time it's not Santiago. I thought it was. It's Juan Martin Obregon. It's nice and high and no mistake. What a cracking goal. Goal number 2, and that the first here for Juan Martin Obregon, making no mistake, converting that penalty for. So Alegria very quickly here, finding their rhythm early on. We are still in chukker number 1. 2.5 minutes left to play. That's the lineup again here in the centre. Ball will be thrown in by Monsieur Daniel Baudou. Here we go. Ball thrown into play. Comes out the far side and it's picked up again by the man who just scored a few moments ago, Juan Martin Obregon. Tried to feed the ball up there to Jesse Bray. Jesse immediately had a man on. Bigatti coming back there to take the 6-goaler on. Alejandro Navijo Estrada, well, he will say, I'm going to have a crack at this. Tried to pick it up. Bray's just behind him. Mannix is there. They turn. Wolf as well. And a nice little run through that Alegria defense. He's making it look so easy. There comes the attempted under the neck shot. Oh, that's a cracking little goal. Been given far too much space there to just run through that Alegria defense. And just when he needed to, a nice little, with a sting in its tail, under the neck shot, hitting the target just right. So Mandarina coming back with a very, very quick goal. And it goes on the account. His second of the morning, Alfredo Bigatti, getting his second, as I say. And we are still in chukker number 1. So a minute and a few seconds left to play in that first chukker. And I think the so-called touchy-feely, sizing up the opposition phase is definitely behind us, as Mannix will pick up this ball. Given to him by Obregon. Alejandro Navijo Estrada just got a piece of it. He'll turn things around. Bush already reading the play. Had a little bit of an unfortunate bounce there, Alejandro Navijo Estrada, to try and send that ball up into Alegria territory. So another shot and a chance to, with a shot on goal from Fred Mannix. And that one also just tripling over the sideboards. So Mandarina, let's have a look at the clock. Well, you've heard the well, there was the siren. You might not have heard it, but that will conclude, because I think it was well, it was sounded before the ball was hit back into play. So unless I'm mistaken, that will be end of chukker number 1. So 4-2. As I say, we'll be back with chukker number 2 in just a few moments. So welcome back. Here we go. Nice to have you with us, of course, here live at the field, here at Grand Champions Field number 1. And, of course, all of those of you watching around the globe on ChukkerTV.com. Remember, any comments or questions that you might have, please feel free to just drop us a line. Always happy to answer any questions that we can. So, after chukker number 1, remember that Mandarina came out, of course, with a 2-goal advantage. Slight difference in team handicap. Having scored 2, of course, already. So that 2-goal handicap will, of course, be very important right at the very end. But so far, both of these teams here, Mandarina and Alegria, not wasting any time and getting as many scores up on the scoreboard as they possibly can. So that 2-goal advantage given from the beginning for Mandarina is still very much in their favour. But Alegria have come back also, or come into this game very, very strong with a very nice goal there from Santi Wolf and Juan Martin Obregon in that opening chukker. And that ball just now just going over the sideboards. So a penalty 5A taken very quickly. And Alegria once again in the driving seat here, trying to find a little bit of space. Gus Bush coming in to be a bit of a nuisance. There comes the drive from Juan Martin Obregon up to the front door. Turned around nice in front of goal. Good bit of defensive work here from Mandarina. Spinacci and Bigatti there. Instrumental, that has a slight deflection. Ball just stays in play. And there's a near side backhand coming from the 6th goaler, that is Jesse Bray. Bush now, he will send the ball up to Bigatti. Bigatti will... Well, he's been told to leave it. You can hear it there. Alejandro Navija Estrada, he'll pick it up, but he's got a man on straight away. Nice little turn as he takes it around. He's got a... I think that was Spinacci who was just trying to clear the way for him. Nice little ball up to the front, looking for Mr. Gus Bush. But again, Juan Martin Obregon just getting there. Bigatti now for Mandarina. Wants to straighten it up and centre it before he opens his shoulders and tries to send one down the field. Wolf there in a real little melee and frenzy of players. But it's Jesse Bray who tried to control it. Again, Santi Wolf. Just trying to get a little bit of structure into this. Nice little backhand. And there comes the drive up to the front door. That's intended for Jesse Bray. Didn't quite land on his stick side. And he got beaten, taken off him with a nice little near side forehand. Oh, but he's lost it. Man with the number 2, Bigatti now break and shoot a long-distance ball from literally anywhere. And that is a solid goal coming to you from Jesse Bray. It was kind of hovering. I felt it was on its way. And Jesse Bray will be happy with that. The first goal for him in this semi-final. Remember, they're playing for a position in the US Trust Cup final, which, of course, will be taking place on Saturday. And that is the subsidiary final of the WPL Triple Crown 2019. Another whistle there. Not quite sure what that whistle was for. Stopping play with 4:56 on the clock. Here we go. Ball's back in play. Once again, Santi Wolf coming in, working very hard here. Leaves it behind. That's a good little play. Has to lean out very far out to the side. Juan Martin Obregon, what's he going to do? A little daisy cutter through the centre. Mannix is in the thick of it. But it's Mandarina who break away. Not quite long enough, that ball, for Gus Bush to take. Alejandro Navija Estrada will tap it forward once. He had a man behind. Bigatti was calling for it, and that ball will just bounce over. So a penalty 5A hit from the spot, of course. Play is called. Juan Martin Obregon, not wasting any time, sends it, has a little bit of a bend on it. Fred Mannix picked it up nicely. Mannix just wants to get a shot off to goal. Here it comes. It'll under the neck. Fred Mannix, and that is a cracking goal from Fred Mannix. So all 4 players now from Alegria having scored. And that should indeed make it 4 apiece. So it's taken them, well, literally a chukker and a half, Alegria, to draw level. Back into the centre they go. Ball first touch there from Mannix. Alejandro Navijo Estrada, he will just take this one nicely on the near side. And that's a good little run here from Alejandro Navijo Estrada. And look at the answer coming back from the 8-goaler. But unfortunately, this time it just goes... Oh, no, it went in. I do apologise. Looked from where I was sitting that there was a little bit of an obstruction. So Alejandro Navijo Estrada, within a matter of seconds, comes back, scores his first of the morning and puts his team back in the lead by 1. So 5 goals to 4. 2:43 left to play on the clock in chukker number 2. Jesse Bray gets the better of that throw in. He'll pick it up. Bush is just behind him. Hard ride off there from Spinacci, taking on the 6-goaler Jesse Bray. And now Juan Martin Obregon, he's got to be careful. He's got a man on, but Gatti's right behind him. Oh, he cut that a little bit too fine, but Gatti will be thinking, thank you very much for that one. Where is the next player from Mandarina? No, instead it's going to be back to Alegria, but only briefly. As Mannix, who has the ball, he's got a man on, coming in for the challenge. They've done well. A little near side forehand, flick of the wrist there from Jesse Bray. A cut shot across, has a slight deflection coming off Alfredo Bigatti. Bray, still with it. Bray, Jesse Bray just has to take it down a gear, and that could be goal number 2, and it is goal number 2, ladies and gentlemen, in the second chukker for Jesse Bray. 5 apiece. Well, they are coming in fast and furious, the goals here, especially in the chukker number 2 here. So far, 3 scored for Alegria, 1 for Fred Mannix, and of course 2 for Jesse Bray and Alejandro Navijo Estrada just a few moments ago, with just a matter of 2 or 3 touches after he took the ball out from the throw-in, making no mistake. So 5 apiece, 1 minute and 20 left on the clock. Chukker number 2. Mannix, ready, well, Mannix will try and send it up to the front, but Alejandro Navijo Estrada, I fear, will be fast man. He can keep turning with him is only Juan man standing in defence here for Alegria, and Bigatti will looks like he's going to run this one himself. There's a long distance shot, and there's another one. Wow, these boys must have had a hearty breakfast, because goal number 3 and the first trim in this chukker, Alfredo Bigatti, a great little run there, and that puts them right back in the lead, 6 goals to 5. Down to the last few seconds, let's see if they're going to come back in time for the ball to be thrown in. I think the players are recognising that siren will go any second now. So there it is, end of chukker number 2. And Mandarina, thank you very much, Mandarina, just having the upper hand going into the last chukker of the first half with a little cushion of 6 goals to 5. We'll be back once the players are back out on the field with fresh ponies. Don't you dare go anywhere. Well, welcome back, everybody, and a warm welcome, of course, to you if you've just joined us. I can see one or two people still coming into Grand Champions Polo Fields here on this another beautiful day in southern Florida, of course. And, of course, a very warm welcome to all of you watching around the globe. Welcome to the first of our two subsidiary finals played today, of course. This is match day number 9 and the 13th match. So for lucky for some, of course, match number 13 here of the WPL Triple Crown. We have had a couple of very chukkers continue. We start. It is the of Arena, his first of the morning, and that is a solid little goal. Gus Bush puts his team right back to where they started. That 2-goal advantage. Remember, Mandarin of a total handicap of 23 of 24. The 1-goal difference, that so-called WP goal that's given in, is why they came out with a 2-goal advantage from the outset. A little under the neck there, to that to the left. Anti-Wolf tried to feed the ball up. Well, Canadian, of course. Just Mandarina defence, and in front of the goal mouth what seemed to be that we've had another right-of-way infringement here. Let's wait and see how and what the umpires make of that. There'll be a penalty or a hit from the spot. Either way, right in front of that goal mouth, I have a feeling it's going to be a spot hit in favour of Alegria, and I believe it's going to be the man with the number 4, exactly. Juan Martin Obregon, a hit from the spot, makes no mistake. Goal number 2 for Juan Martin Obregon, clawing one back. Oh, it's gone wide. Unbelievable, it's gone wide. I thought I saw the goal judge raise his flag, so I was a little bit too quick off the mark there. So possibly a very costly mistake there. Score remains the same, 7-5. But we're only at the top of chukker number 3. Left behind once again for Alejandro Navijo Estrada. He will open things up to send the ball to Spinacci. Spinacci, good couple of touches from him. Wants to get through and send the ball either himself or up to Gus Bush. Solid little backhander once again coming in from Juan Martin Obregon. Plays turned around. There's the open backhand. Bigatti tried to feed the ball back to Spinacci. Spinacci tried to just, excuse me, centre it there on the near side. Not easy to do when you've got 2 or 3 guys on, but Max again beaten there by Alejandro Navijo Estrada. And this is a good run here if they can just finish it. Taken out of the jaws of the goal mouth there by the man with the number 3, Santiago, but I fear he might have just caused a foul. And that'll be good news, of course, for Mandarina. Alegria had done so well, drawing level halfway through the previous chukker. And then Mandarina decided to come back here, also very strong. And Gus Bush, of course, scoring the first goal in this chukker. And the first for him also in this game. So penalty 2 is what it looks like. I thought that would be the case. A penalty 2 after that foul in front of goal in favour of Mandarina. And it'll be, of course, Alejandro Navijo Estrada, one of the 2 8-goalers playing for Mandarina. Alfredo Bigatti, of course, also 8 goals. Spinacci, 6. So here we go. Well, we've seen 1 or 2 little upsets already so far down the other side of the field. But I'm pretty sure Alejandro Navijo Estrada... Oh, what I was going to say... He's actually made the same mistake. He puts it wide as well. So they're scoring some cracking goals out of play, but the easy ones, and it's so often the case, the easy ones, the penalty 2s or the hits from the spot today seem to be evading them. That ball had a little bit of a deflection. Bush coming in deep, as is the rest of Mandarina. Now eventually that ball is cleared, and Juan Martin Obregon Tops that one slightly. He's got a man on. The 2 number 4, Spinacci, chasing. And it'll be Bush, or will it? Bray got a piece of it first. And then Bugatti manages to just put an end to that very fast run. Bush again trying to just find a little bit of a gap. Left behind for Bugatti, I believe. Remember, Bugatti and Spinacci both looking very similar, both with white helmets. Spinacci the number 4, Bugatti the number 2, of course. Bray needs to get out of the way as Alejandro Navijo Estrada alongside the sideboards. There's a near side back from Jesse Bray. No one home to pick it up. Spinacci, on the other hand, he will send it back towards the sideboards. Juan Martin Obregon all of a sudden has a little bit of space, and he will open things up, send it parallel to along the back line, looking to feed the ball to Mannix. And eventually, I thought Bugatti was going to run away with it. Mannix. Fred Mannix. Well, that was inevitable to come. There was a whistle right in front of the goal mouth. I'm pretty sure that Mannix there will have been... he will have been given the foul. Well, those words of motivation I can hear from one or two of the players would suggest that another hit from the spot might be given here. Well, ball's being dropped. And it'll be taken from the spot indeed. Juan Martin Obregon. And this time he won't make a mistake. Juan Martin Obregon getting his 2nd of the game. And that brings the team within 1 goal of Mandarina. 6 goals to 7. And we're just shy of a little under 3 minutes left to play in the first half. Well, it really has been a very, very exciting and no messing about kind of game so far. Both of these teams coming in, and from that very first ball that was thrown in, it was down to business. Ball's back in play. Obregon. He's got a man on. Alejandro Navijo Estrada fakes the backhand, tries to turn it. Wolf will support. But Alejandro Navijo Estrada just running away with it. He has a hook there coming in from Obregon. It's left behind for Mannix. Mannix couldn't do anything with it. Bugatti, on the other hand, he will keep the pressure on here for Mandarina. Mannix coming in very hard to try and steal the ball back. Bugatti with a nigh impossible shot under the neck on the near side. At a 90-degree angle, not an easy shot to do. From the spot, Alejandro Navijo Estrada. Again, Bush at the front door, but that's a long pass. Eventually, Bugatti will come in to help Alejandro, and he'll want it back as he goes up, leaves it behind. Just in front of the goal, man. Piece of that. Near side backer, but I think that caused another foul. Anti-Wolf. Piece of it, but was according to the rules. Well, we're going to have a quick pony change with a minute 21 left. And an infringement there, one mouth of Mandarina. Around, of course, any official pony changes in this tournament. If a player decides to field and get a new set of legs, the first legs, it's down to him. And that is another solid goal, ladies and gentlemen, from two-player once again. 4th of the game, Alfredo Bugatti. Mandarina very much in control here of this game. For the last few seconds in this first half. And again, as I said earlier, as they started, Mandarina have managed to keep Alegria at bay. Bush, and I'm sure they'll be very happy with this half-time result. Down to the last few seconds before we hear the first siren, of course. Mannix will try, if he can, to claw one back. There's the first siren. Jesse Bray through the centre. Alegria desperate to get one quick one if they can. They just need the gap. Oh, well, that whistle, of course, will stop and bring the end of the first half to a close. 8-6, as I say, in favour of Mandarina. So the boys will go for a quick pony change. We will have some of our guests here hopefully come out and tread in one or two divots, and we will be back, of course, with the second half in just a few moments. Good. The cracking first half. Good afternoon. My name is Dan Eric, and we are coming to, of course, live here from Grand Champions Field number 1. We are watching the first of our two semi-finals of the WPL Triple Crown. Of course, this is the US Trust Cup that they're playing for, and these two teams that are out there, who of course have a lot to prove to try and make it through into Saturday's final, of course. And if I look at the score sheet, well, Alfredo Bagatti so far with 4 goals to his name. I'm sure they'll be very, very happy indeed. And Alegria, who after the first chukker and a half or so came back, they were down, of course, the arena coming in just on the handicap. And took him a chukker and the arena, they regrouped. They came out very, very strong. Very excited. Hope you're enjoying it. Stay tuned and remember, any kind of questions or comments, feel free. ChukkerTV.com. Look forward to hearing from you. Stay tuned. The second half is coming right up. One, two, three, test, test. So here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for tuning in those divots. Welcome back. Second half, all to play for. 2 little goals in it, and those are the same 2 goals that Mandarina got from the beginning, of course, as they came into this semi-final. The first of our 2 today. Remember, the second semi-final of the US Trust Cup, which is, of course, part and parcel of the WPL Triple Crown 2019, and will be played this afternoon at 3 o'clock. Local Floridian time over at Jan Pamela's, of course, and that'll also be broadcast live on ChukkerTV. So make sure, wherever in the world you are, you will tune in to watch the second semi-final, as I say, that this afternoon, and that'll be between WPL and Black Watch. But now we go back to exactly where that whistle came at the end of that first half, and no mistake, goal number 3, a cracking start to get off to the second half for Juan Martin Obregon. His 3rd of the game, and that, of course, puts Alegria back within 1 point of one's goal of Mandarina, who have been playing a really good game here this morning at Grand Champions Polo Club. Great to see them so well tuned into each other and playing so well as a nicely oiled machine. So 7 minutes left to play, and a very, very quick goal. Remember, we had that whistle right before the end of the first half. Mannix nearly running away with it again. There comes the pass again from Obregon. Mannix will just get the putter out, and oops, did he get it over the line? That's a quick question. Not just, it was saved. Good bit of defensive play there from Mandarina. This time the ball will just bounce over the sideboards on the far side. I really thought that Mannix was going to put that one away, but just denied in front of the goalmouth. Mannix this time back in defence, having to chase. Mandarina, Bugatti and Spinacci trying to play the ball to each other. Now going up for the pass. Oh, he tried to fish it out of midair. It's a very, very good effort indeed from Alfredo Bugatti. But Santi Wolf, he won't mess about. As a slight deflection, it came off Jesse Bray. And that might just be the blessing in disguise for Alejandro Navijo Estrada. And he does the same, returns the compliment again. A deflection coming off Bray. Always left it behind and straight into the run. But coming down the line, well, it was a difficult call to make. Mannix was on the line, and that man as well. Player with the number 2 from Mandarina, Alfredo Bugatti. And as you can see, it's gone in favour of Mandarina, who get the hit from the spot. I'm very sure that was an unintentional foul. And as much as the umpires, of course, here at the WPL, remember the highest level of polo played outside of Argentina. 26 goal, the World Polo League, and we have seen some amazing polo. Well, no surprise if you think about the fact that the who's who of the polo world has descended down here onto Wellington, Florida. As we now watch this young man, 8 goals to his name, Alejandro Navijo Estrada. He will run this one himself as far as can. But got a piece of him. Nice little open backhand from Bray, but unfortunately not to Mannix was intended. Instead, Alfredo Bugatti. And Mannix, of course, will keep the pressure on Bugatti. He will just try and tee it up so he can send it up the field. He was looking there for Spinacci. Bray just beat him to it, picked it up nicely on the near side. So all according to the rules and the way you must play. A little bit of a stop, taking the pace out. Sandy Wolf, he's told to leave it behind. Obregon will send it back to Wolf. He'll pick it up on his just little touch on his near side and then send it on his stick side. There's the long, long drive to goal. And what a great goal. Santi Wolf, ladies and gentlemen. Superb. The way he just hammered that down the field. Santi Wolf, that is his 2nd of the game, and a very important one it is, because that once again brings his team Alegria level with Mandarina. So 8 apiece. 2 very quick goals from Juan Martin Obregon and Santi Wolf here in Chukker. Number 3. A little over 4 minutes left to play in chukker number 4. And this is now the time where Alegria will not only draw level, but possibly even take the lead for the first time. Let's wait and see. Both of these teams really hard to gauge at this time. And again, a good pass up to the front to Gus Bush. Who turns it around nicely, very nicely indeed, and feeds that ball up to Alejandro Novillo Estrada. He's got a man on. Wolf coming in. Alejandro can't believe it. Bugatti sends it back into the open field where Alejandro had turned nicely. He'll pick this one up on the run. Here we go on the approach. Keeps his mallet nice and low. Alejandro's got to be careful. Juan Martin Obregon just does not want to go between the posts on that play. And that'll be a walk in the park. Oops. Well, I was going to say it was going to be through, but there was a whistle on that play. Exactly with 3 minutes left to play in chukker number 4. And let's see what the umpires made of that one. Happened just in front of the goal mouth. Of course, the umpires can call play whenever they want. And as you can see, they're being a little bit gracious there, allowing some of the players just to change ponies. Just waiting now for the umpire to call play. And we've had quite a few of these so far. Hit from the spot. No mistake for the 8-goal Alejandro Novillo Estrada. His second of the morning. And Mandarina come back again. Every time Alegria so far, we had that at 5 apiece at the end, or during the second chukker. But then in chukker number 3, Mandarina again with 2 goals and only 1 coming from Juan Martin Obregon. Put them right back into this game. So Mandarina, very short-lived. The equaliser there coming a little bit earlier from Santi Wolf. Has now another chance for Juan Martin Obregon to get his next goal up onto the scoreboard. Jesse Bray's in there as well. Well, I think that one's going to go on the account of Jesse Bray. His 3rd of the game. So, the big question, who's going to get into double figures first? 9 apiece. A little over a minute and a half left to play in chukker number 4. Well, we've been here before as well, as I say. Ball's thrown back into play. Novillo Estrada gets a little bit of an entanglement there, trying very hard to try and, as I say, secure possession of the ball. He had his arm taken off in that little melee. Mannix now taking on the 8-goaler. The 2 8-goalers at each other. The Canadian versus the Oops! Well, we have an interruption, ladies and gentlemen. And as you can see, Alfredo Bugatti far from amused. And that pony deciding to call it a day. And just show her that she's really had enough. So we will just allow Alfredo Bugatti to get himself a new pony. And then we'll be back in just a few moments with the remaining 1 minute and 9 to play in chukker number 4. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you the player there who just came off, Alfredo Bugatti, back in the saddle again on a fresh pony. The medics, of course, always super efficient and very quickly on the scene here, just giving him the once over. They've given him the all clear, so great to see Alfredo Bugatti back in the saddle again. Remember, he so far has scored 4 goals for Mandarina, so a key player, of course, in that team. And I'm pretty sure the umpires will continue play with a throw-in at the spot where that incident happened just a few moments ago. So here we go then. Good to see him back in the saddle. 9 apiece, 1:09 left to play in chukker number 4. Daniel Baudou releases the ball. It comes out the far side. And Alejandro Navijo Estrada gets the whistle and the appeal. That he appealed for. Juan Martin Obregon there, I think the culprit being just stopped in his tracks. So indeed, a hit from the spot. Or a penalty for even. Let's wait and see where that ball is going to be dropped. I think it's going to be a penalty for. At least that's what it looks like from over here. So another big chance here, and it could be that Alejandro Navijo Estrada will put his team into double figures. It's a penalty 3. Not a penalty 4, so semi-defended. And I'm pretty sure Alejandro will take this one himself. So, 5 seconds since they restarted play after that young man, Alfredo Bugatti, had a little tumble. He's all good, as is the pony. So now Alejandro Navijo Estrada to get his team into double figures and regain the lead. Well, I don't think you could score that any higher than that. A cracking goal, ladies and gentlemen. Alejandro Navijo Estrada getting his 3rd of the game. 2 alone in this chukker, and then he scored 1 in the 2nd. So, as I say, 10 goals, double figures. Courtesy of that goal from Alejandro Navijo Estrada. We're going to hear the siren in a matter of seconds. So the last few seconds in chukker number 4. And again, as we've had now, I think for the 3rd time, a 1-goal advantage at least. So not for the 3rd time, but another deflection. It came off Alejandro Navijo Estrada. Ball's just kept in play by said 8-goaler. Mannix with a little backhand. And a whistle will stop play. So 10 goals to 9 at the end of chukker number 4. We'll come back with that whistle and that foul when they come back after a quick pony change. Join us for the penultimate, 5th and final chukker in just a few moments. So here we go then. Welcome back. And as we had just now before the end of that chukker, a whistle, of course. And it would look like we have a penalty in favour of Alegria. So once again, a very quick chance here for Alegria also to follow suit and get into double figures as well. Big question, of course, now is who is going to take this this penalty. Another penalty 3, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's going to be, well, either Mr. Mannix or Mr. Obregon, one of the two. Well, it's going to be Juan Martin Obregon. Play has been called, so another penalty 3. And that is defendable. And Alejandro Navijo Estrada did exactly that. He did. Oh, did it? No, it went through. I thought he got a piece of it. Juan Martin Obregon gets the score. For a minute there, I thought it came off the pony from Juan Martin or rather, I should say, Alejandro Navijo Estrada saved it, but it wasn't to be. It was too much power on that shot. So, 10 apiece. And 2 more chukkers nearly to play. Down to 7 minutes in chukker number 5. Now, let me also remind you, of course, watching at on ChukkerTV on Thursday. That is tomorrow, the 11th of April. We have our 2 semi-finals of the Triple Crown, of course, which will be played on Sunday afternoon here at Grand Champions. So join us for that. We have our first semi tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. played over at Valiente between Valiente and Audi. And then in the afternoon at 4 p.m. also at Valiente, we have Grand Champions Polo Club taking on Colorado. But now back to the action we go, and quite a strong whistle, quite a strong foul there. Jesse Bray and Gus Bush in that little duel going down the field. And then, of course, very important this afternoon, the winner of this match will play the winner of the second semi-final of the US Trust Cup between WPL and Blackwatch, when, of course, we will feature 2 very big names in the world of polo, one a little bit more established than the other, Nacho Figueres, of course, and Porotto Cambiaso. And that is always worth watching. So here we go. As I thought, a foul coming in from Gus Bush against Jesse Bray. So Alegria with a shot on the south goal here. Juan Martin Obregon, and if I'm not mistaken, that would be the first time that they've taken the lead in this semi-final. Straightforward penalty 2, and no mistake at all. Juan Martin Obregon getting a goal number 5, his second also in this chukker. And by doing so, brings his team, Alegria, into the lead for the first time. 6 minutes left to play, chukker number 5. Now then, Mandarina, who've come back from this so often throughout this game, are going to have to do it again. Mannix looking to send the ball back up to Jesse Bray. It's a little bit short. Alejandro Navijo Estrada will try and steal it. Well, I have a feeling here that this time it could be Monsieur Mannix who committed that foul against Alejandro Navijo Estrada. Indeed, that is the way they've called it. So we hit from the spot, 5-8 in favour of Mandarina. And it'll be taken by the man that Mannix just committed that foul on. There's the pass across the field. Bray will come with him. There's the under the neck. That's a nice little pass, and Spinacci will pick this one up. Not the way he would have liked. Obregon. Oh, he's just left the ball behind. He's got to be careful. Bush will come back and try and take it if he can. Obregon, now, of course, what you can't do, well, he's gotten away with it. You can't really ride under the player's swing. That must have been very much borderline.
Bush. In comes Mannix. Takes it off nicely on the near side. Again, the Canadian. Turning things around nicely. He's got a man to his left, and he's got Jesse Bray in the centre of the field. Mannix now being left to his own devices. And there's the pass up to Santi Wolf. Santi Wolf. Oh, what a great run, ladies and gentlemen. Superbly taken. Santi Wolf also getting his third of the morning. And they're starting to run away with it now. Alegria. 12 goals to 10. Well, that is a first. And Alegria now have a 2-goal cushion against a very, very strong Mandarina here this morning. And as is so often the case, of course, the fifth chukker can be instrumental. We'll have a whistle there, just waiting for 2 more players. Gus Bush coming back on a fresh pony. And, of course, that man with the number 3 on his shirt, Santi Wolf, coming in today playing for Gringo Colombres. And ball's back in play. Bush tries to send it back, didn't quite make the connection, and Alegria again coasting forward. There's the long distance shot. It just goes wide. Well, Mandarina need to get a grip on this ever getting stronger Alegria team. Going from strength to strength now in this penultimate chukker. Alejandro Navijo Estrada. Everything, of course, runs via him. Oh, he's also made a little mistake. Luckily, there was no one there to penalise him for that one. He comes back, picks up the ball now. Then who's he going to play it to? Mannix will be the first challenger. Bigatti will tuck in behind. He's left it for him. Bigatti will want to send it deep over the halfway line. He does, looking for Spinacci. Another one of those pitch-perfect passes. Alejandro coming back in defence. Mannix looking to take this one and run it, and he will send Jesse Bray on his way. Now, here we go. Look at that pony open up nicely. Bray, great, solid first touch, and it has a bit of an unfortunate bounce. Couldn't finish off what looked like a certain goal there from Jesse Bray. There's the cut shot. And Mandarina all of a sudden coming out flat out. Little near side backhand there from Obregon. A bump there from Mannix. And Mannix will try and run this one himself, or would he go for the shot? On the approach. Alejandro Navijo Estrada making life very difficult. It comes out of nowhere. Jesse Bray. Now that'll be a chance for him to redeem himself, and he'll be happy with that. Jesse Bray on the second run, turning it around with a little bit of help there from Fred Mannix. Gets goal number 5 for Mr. Bray. And that puts them, for the first time, in a 3-goal cushion. 13 goals to 10. And as I feared, Alegria really turning on the heat now. Want to secure that position in Saturday's subsidiary final. And the final, which is, of course, the US Trust Cup. Ball's back in play. Alejandro Navijo Estrada. It would be great if they could score one back very quickly. Here comes the under the neck shot. Oh, we had a whistle. We had a whistle on that play. Well, the game has definitely not lost any of its pace. Still going very, very fast indeed. It's a hit from the spot. It'll be taken very quickly. Alegria at the moment, I think, with one extra man on the field. Beg your pardon, they're all back. Obregon up to the front door. Jesse Bray will leave it for Mannix to run through. But it's going to end up for Bugatti. He'll slam on the brakes. Nicely outplayed. Still Bugatti. Spinacci will tuck in nicely behind him as we approach the 1-minute mark. And again, Mandarina now. Bush is waiting for the pass, and he might just get what he asked for. Gus Bush, just a little touch is all it's going to take. Well, he put it wide, but I think he crossed the line as well. And a whistle. Just had a little bit too much angle on that shot. Well, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, the ball's been moved all the way up to the penalty 4 spot for Alegria. So I can only deduce that there must have been some sort of a technical issue, which is why Mandarina have had this penalty imposed on them. I will get back to you and find out what exactly happened there as we now watch Juan Martin Obregon try and make it 14 goals to 10. Let's have a look what the goal judge says. No mistake, another cracking goal. Goal number 6 from Juan Martin Obregon. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The siren will stop and end play. And I will use this little gap or this little break to find out what happened just there, because the ball was just, as you saw, taken from in front of the goal man from one side of the field all the way up to the other side. Whatever you do, stay tuned. We'll be back with the 6th and final chukker of this semi-final of the US Trust Cup in just a few moments. Welcome back, everybody. And as I did promise, I was going to try and find out what happened earlier on. Well, I haven't got all the information, but I do have what I thought myself was the case, which was a technical. A technical, of course, given against Mandarina. And Juan Martin Obregon making the most of that penalty for that he was given. So a technical penalty is what was awarded. And we are now, of course, in the sixth and final chukker. And Alegria just want to get this over the finishing line. That young man, Alfredo Bigatti on the far side. He's going to try and make a difference now, of course, in the sixth and final chukker. Alegria going from strength to strength. Bush tried to pick that one up on the near side. He had Santi Wolf on him. Jesse Bray will send it back into or towards the sideboards. And Mannix. Oh, good correction there from Fred Mannix. He will try and run away with this one himself. It's a day at the races all of a sudden. Mannix up against Spinacci, I believe that is, on the far side. Bigatti, he will send it back. Alejandro Navidra Estrada nicely intercepted, but he's got a man on straight away as well. And once again, Alegria here. And that's a solid, very solid little under the neck shot there. Nicely taken. And with 6 minutes left on the clock, another superb goal from Juan Martin Obregon. Goal number 7 for that young man, getting his team off to a cracking start in the sixth and final chukker. Here we go. Ball's back in play. Extended by Mannix. Alejandro Navidra Estrada. And through the centre. And this could be a little break here. Gus Bush at the front waiting. Again, Alejandro will try and send it deep into Alegria territory. A little open backhand. It's a little bit short. Bray leaves it for Mannix. Now Mannix just holds back a little bit. He's got a man on and he's got no one to pass it to. Maybe now with Jesse Bray wanting to go up. Juan Martin Obregon sends it exactly where Jesse Bray wanted it. Under the neck, near side, beautifully taken. Ladies and gentlemen, Jesse Bray, goal number 6 for that young man. Well, Alegria, they laid the foundation in the previous chukker and now they're reaping the benefits of that, running away with it. No score in the last chukker from Mandarina. A total of 5 for Alegria. And now again 2. So if you add the 2 chukkers together, 7 goals in, well, not quite 2 chukkers, of course, a chukker and a half. 7 goals for Alegria. I've literally taken Mandarina apart here in the second half of the second half, it's fair to say. Again, to the disbelief there, that foul against Mandarina. Alegria are going to go for a quick, 1 or 2 players are going to go for a quick pony change. Plays called, taken very quickly indeed. A little over 3.5 minutes left to play. And that just goes wide. So they're going to be trying everything now to try and claw a couple back. But 6 goals in 3.5 minutes will not be an easy task for any team and by any stretch of the imagination. Players called. Deep in their own half. A long way to go. Mandarina all the way up the field. Alejandro Navidra Estrada will try and clear it and get as much space behind him as he possibly can. Sends that one out to his left-hand side. And this looks like a good run here as they get it over the halfway line. Bigatti. Visual Estrada just holding back, and he did a good job by doing so. And Juan Martin Obregon there, you could see that. He had no choice but to go through him. So an obstruction foul there. Alejandro Visual Estrada. Juan Martin Obregon just comparing notes, and I'm pretty sure Juan Martin will agree that that was probably a little bit unnecessary. Unintentional, I'm sure. So 2:47 on the clock. And Alejandro Visual Estrada being awarded a penalty 3. As I say, they were still very much in this game, Mandarina, during chukker number 4. We're actually in the lead most of the time, and he's left it for Gus Bush, and he's just put it wide. Nice gesture there from Alejandro Visual Estrada to let Gus Bush have a crack at that. So 2.5 minutes left to play on the scoreboard. 16 goals to 10. It's been a very productive day or morning at the office here for Alegria, who I'm sure will be joining us all this afternoon at 3 o'clock over at Jan Pamela's, which is literally just around the corner here from Grand Champions. So if you're in the area, come and join us. And of course, if you're watching the action live on ChukkerTV.com, do join in and watch for the second semi-final. Mannix now just putting the finishing touches to a great morning at the office, as I say. 17 goals to 10, and goal number 2 for the young Canadian. So they'll be delighted with the outcome of this game. As I say, the game this afternoon between WPL, Porto Cambiasso, Guillermo Torreira, Diego Kavanagh. And still waiting for one more confirmation name player in that. And then Blackwatch with Juan Cruz Merlos, Nacho Figueres, Pete Merlos, and coming in for the, I think, still suffering from a slight back problem or a back injury for Tommy Biddle. We've got Juan Bellini. So a little over a minute left to play. chukker number 6, but it has been a great game to watch. And Mandarina, despite the 2-goal, but they are slightly weaker on handicap, really held their own here this morning. Santi Wolf will send that one back up towards the halfway now, but I think the first signs of resignation now coming through as Alejandro Visual Estrada will once again feed that ball to Bigatti, but Jesse Bray now, and I think it's a question of just running down the time. The players are aware of the fact that not much is going to happen in the last few seconds of this chukker. Another nice little, I thought a nice little goal. Well, even the easy ones now all of a sudden seem to evade them. There is the first siren, ladies and gentlemen. And Alejandro Visual Estrada getting a whistle there on him for that play, but I think they're going to call it a day. So a little round of applause, I think, is in order for both teams. A cracking game. 17 goals to 10 is, as you can see on the scoreboard, the final score. It was a cracking game from both teams. Mandarina coming off to such a good start, but it just wasn't to be enough at the end when Alegria in the second half turned on the heat. Now remember to join us, of course, this afternoon at 3 o'clock for the second semi-final of the Triple Crown, the US Trust Cup. WPL will be taking on Blackwatch. Hope you've enjoyed watching this first semi-final. Remember, you can watch all the action on ChukkerTV.com. It's been a pleasure having you with us, of course, online and here at Grand Champions. For now, enjoy your lunch and tune back in on Chukker TV this afternoon, 3 o'clock local Florida time for the second semi-final of the US Trust Cup. Thank you very much, and we'll see you later.